router different ways, but what I'm going to do is I'm assuming all of our tuning machines are the same size, so we're going to want our headstocks to all be the same size. So what I'll do is measure. It's currently 815. It's 848 over there, 837 over there. It's a little bit inconsistent, and that's just dandy. It's because we were putting it against the sanding machine over there to even it out. So what I'll do is I will use this side as my reference point. So 809 on this corner. So 809 minus, what's 809 minus 5, say 569, that's 240. That makes sense? Yeah, 240. Okay, so what I want to do is set up this router. I'll use the dovetail bit because the dovetail bit's nice and wide and it cuts a nice flat surface at the bottom. So I'll press it down. So now it's touching the wood in that corner, and then I'll take the calipers and set them up to 240 thousandths of an inch. 239, 240, there we go. And I'll set it up so when it's all the way down, the distance between the bottom of that blade and the top of this wooden jig ends up being 569, 570 thousandths of an inch. So in theory, this should work.
So is the top of the jig level?
It is. It's pretty close to bang on level. From left to right.
From there to here.
Yep.
Can you use that as your measurement?
You could measure down, but I just find that because headstock is the physical object, and because the router bit can be put against the headstock, it's a little easier because then I can just line it up at 0, and then if I lower it, then it'll only take me to the desired depth. So I'll turn it on and then lower it. Take a look, I didn't go all the way down, there's still another 180 thou. I want to do it in about 3 passes, but just for the fun of it, let's take a peek. Looks pretty consistent. Let's measure it now and see if it is in fact actually more uniform in height than it was before. 762. 762. So that's quite lovely. So then we'll turn it on again with the router bit not over top of your work. If you plunge it into your top, or your headstock, you'll get a circular burn mark. So plunge it in away from your work. Then one other thing that's important to not do is if you go this way, if you take a look over here, the base plate is not perfectly circular. It's got this little gap over here, so it can rock, and it can go a little bit deeper onto your headstock where you don't necessarily want it to be. So we'll just start up again. it like that. Now if I measure 548, it's 20 thou off what I was expecting. So, but that's pretty okay. And there's your headstock, and it's got a uniform thickness, and at the same time the thickness is also set up so your tuning machines will be protruding a reasonable amount. If you want, one thing you can do to dress it up is we can put a veneer on the back too later on. So, but that's the headstock inside that chunk of wood.